These days, the term trope is often used as a sign of derision, but not all tropes are bad. There are times to use them, and times to subvert them, and times to invert them. As long as the story is well written, you can use almost any tropes that fit your story. Welcome back to Morgan's Writing Tips and Writerly Musings. I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, and today I'm back with Inverted Tropes. These are my final notes from WorldCon 80, otherwise known as ChiCon 8. The panelists for the titular panel were Foz Meadows, Micaiah Johnson, Tim Waggoner, and moderated by Paul Price. The description was as follows. The Fanlore Wiki defines trope inversion as, quote, when an existing trope is flipped on its head, defying the audience's expectations, end quote. Many writers are digging into the weeds of going against convention for a variety of reasons to highlight issues with a trope, to explore a new avenue in an old story, or just to have a good time. Panelists will discuss examples of inverted tropes, reasons why writers experiment with trope inversion, and what tropes they'd love to see challenged, and more. So, first off, let's start with the basics. What are tropes? Well, tropes are story elements that can be shared from writer to writer, like Legos or playground equipment. They often are attached to a specific genre or a set of genres. Fans of book series exist often because they love the tropes in the stories. That's how the reader can find, quote, more of the same, but different. While some people think romance or mysteries or manga are formulaic, tropes are useful for every genre because they help the stories resonate and connect with their readers. Tropes are neither good nor bad. They're just established narrative practices. While they can be cliche, they don't have to be written that way. Tropes exist in the space between conventional narratives, which are big and broad, and cliches, which are very specific. We can't run out of tropes because new ones keep getting created and old ones keep evolving. So, for inverted tropes, subverting a trope still counts as using it. Plus, watching the standard tropes evolve or shift and new ones emerging can be reflective of a society's expectations and fears. Analyzing which tropes are more popular in different countries can provide insight into that culture. In the US, we have movies about Skynet and its single soul taking over. In Japan, they created Ghost in the Shell, where a single cyborg is hacked. In the US, we have toxic waste creating superheroes. In Japan, that same toxic waste creates kaiju, giant monsters like Godzilla. The historic inspirations for both countries seem pretty self evident. Some inverted tropes evolved to become the common trope. In early stories of automatons, they were the moral center. And then, as they became more actually possible, automatons or AI became a source of fear. And now we're starting to revert back to that earlier form. Tropes are best subverted when the writer understands, either consciously or subconsciously, why the trope exists and how it works. Otherwise, modifying the trope or twisting it can land flat or expose weaknesses in the trope at the cost of a good story. While you can choose any trope to use or invert, they're more effective when you invert a recognizable trope. So, quick point, inversion versus subversion. Uh, the example here was in a the butler did it trope inversion, the butler would be innocent. In a subversion, the butler would still be guilty, but it would be for a good reason and everyone was helping or something like that. So, a few ways to invert common tropes. Inverting the hero's journey or the main character's exploration. You can have a barren wasteland person dissing the big city, or the writer flipping the gaze of who the main character is and who is the sidekick. Um, you can make that happily ever after look nothing like what the character expected. For portal fantasy, take away the usual implied safeties. Make time pass back home and physical injuries permanent. For isekai manga, the one summoned to save the day could be denied help or the wrong person is summoned. Uh, for the trope good versus evil, obviously you can invert it by flipping who the bad guy is or by making everything morally ambiguous, but other variants often turn into creeping nihilism, so be wary there. Note, if a trope is required for the genre, you should not break or invert it. Happily ever afters, or at least happy for nows, are required for romance. Sure, you can write a romantic story with a tragic ending, but it won't sell well as romance. You should put it in a different genre. You can write a murder mystery or thriller where the sense of danger goes down as the story progresses, but it won't sell well. Some tropes invert poorly. Stories where the oppressors become the oppressed and vice versa are hard to write well without coming across as justification for why one side was oppressed. In the US, books where the elite race is now black and the workers are white, especially when written by white authors, often fall into almost, quote, they don't know their place tropes, playing into earlier fears about white people becoming less, or they turn into feel good novels written to show how progressive the author is. Um, just because you invert or subvert a trope doesn't necessarily make your story good. The writing has to be able to back it up. So, a couple recommendations from the panelists: the anime One Punch Man, a Korean police drama known as Beyond Evil, a movie called One Cut of the Dead. Manga, we have The Scum Villain's Self Saving System. Another manga is Yokohama Kadashi Kiko, is a manga as well. For books, we have The Broken Girls, City, Persephone Station, Murderbot series, Silk Fire, and Guardians of the Flame. Let me know what tropes are your favorites, which ones you enjoy seeing inverted, and if you have any recommendations, pop them in the comments below. And as always, I'll be back again next week with more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye bye.